I just spent $1,300 of my own money on this lifetime plan, testing this game-changing AI tool that every creator is talking about. Poppy AI. Reddit is calling it an overpriced scam, but big creators like Ali Abdaal and Vanessa Lau are calling it game-changing, and they say that it'll help you, one, organize your ideas, save hours every single week, and even write content or ads that make money, all with just one click. And so here's exactly what we're covering in today's video. First, I'll break down the high level of what Poppy is and what you get for what you pay for it. Then I'll test it in 3 different scenarios that I actually use for my YouTube and clients as well: content research, YouTube scriptwriting, and doing client work. But really, it's just to give you a feel of what it actually looks like inside and all that. And if you want my honest verdict, whether it's worth the money or not, or whether you should stick to free tools like ChatGPT or Claude, I actually have a full worth it video too, just breaking down the pros and cons of that as well. I'll link it at the end and also leave it in the description as well. Let's get on to the video. So let's start with the good feedback first. Some people are calling it a game changer. The next claim was that it saves time. So there was this video about this AI agent writes viral content for me on YouTube. They talk about like, oh, it saves me 20 hours every single week and stuff. You'll see these claims a lot. But also in the comments, I like to see the sentiment here. This person said that the script time reduced from 4 hours to 30 minutes. Research time dropped from 2 hours to 15 minutes. If I take any one of these videos and I dump it into this board over here, it will start transcribing. So it's uploading right now. And then I can attach a chat to it and be like, hey, what do you see? You can link it together and be like, yo, what do you see? The visual workspace makes a big difference compared to regular chat interfaces. I can see all my research, ideas, and AI interactions in one place. This tool lets me connect with both ChatGPT and Claude, which gets different responses. That is quite true. So we have the different models, including Claude, Sonnet, 3.7, the different ChatGPT tools and stuff too. And one interesting thing is the quality stay consistent. My thing is, I think it's because you can choose what you link this to over here. So it's pretty cool. My theory for this, by the way, is since you can control the context, like I have these things linked up to this chat, it'll always pull references from here versus like random things like on Reddit or the internet out there. Let's talk about the visual space. The way Poppy works, you can import YouTube, TikTok, PDFs, just drag and drop. The other feedback was that it's actually really good for teams. So again, Ali Abdaal says, me and my team have been using Poppy for content, sales, assets, and ads. What they do is take their top performing Instagrams and Reels, they drag them into a board, they connect them to the chat interface, and then they understand what the content was. You can use it to analyze patterns, which is what Ali is saying. He also said that it was really helpful for planning ads, and they can reference other ads that are working. So cool thing here is you can drop any social media here or connect your ads and post it here too, and it'll transcribe it, and since it's short form, you'll see everything there too. Vanessa Lau, she mentioned that it's really great for brand voice. It leverages her story, my voice, her proven frameworks. In one of her videos, she actually does a breakdown video, which is pretty cool, but from what I'm seeing, she also got a little backlash because like, hey, I love your content, but this one didn't seem right. Just felt like more of a sales pitch there too. So Vanessa was like, oh, I appreciate the feedback and stuff. There's a lot of benefits to Poppy, but there's a lot of skepticism, which is perfectly normal because it is a lot more expensive than other tools out there. Before buying, I actually talked to my friend Vanessa and I was like, hey, I'm about to buy with your link. She's like, just feed it best practices. And then she has a whole tutorial too. So yeah, let's start off the first thing, research. One of the biggest problems I always had was just keeping all my stuff in one place. I used to love using Notion to organize my stuff, but there's something really cool about having an infinite whiteboard space to put all your stuff in and just brain bomb everything in there. And so as I break my workflow down, the way I think about AI has like 4 different steps. We need to understand the context, what information that we give it. There's the input or what we ask AI model for. There's the process of how we want this input to be transformed or how we ask the AI to transform something. And then there's the output. It's what you get. And when we start thinking like this, I feel like Poppy is actually really cool because the limitations are endless. I'll give you some creative ones near the end of this video, but let's move on. Currently, I'm doing this for content. You could do it for ads too. I was even actually thinking about using this for jujitsu too. So what I'm going to do is show you kind of what I did for a recent YouTube video that I did for an app. Here is kind of what I put on my board. So for this video, I like to put all the outlier videos, either my own outlier videos like what you see over here, or like content formats that I'm working on like here, like this Worth It series is something that I really like on my channel. And so I dump everything here. I've been going on Reddit too recently, just seeing what is the sentiment of what are people talking about this app. So I'm putting all my research here. Notice it will I can always, sorry, I don't want to ungroup it, but I can actually go on the website to the website I referenced to just read through the website too. So everything is all in one place, which really helps. So I can put all my Reddit comments, any websites. I think I put all the plans, the different things about Square App. So I put the actual website, some screenshots, different pricing information that I can reference as well. That's not loading right now, but yeah. And I even put one of Daniel Priestley's books in here too. So it was a pretty short book, by the way. In addition, I have my target avatars here. So one of my target avatars is actually Ali Abdaal. I used to work with him, and I know that Ali would be someone that would be interested in this. So basically, I have a full transcript with Ali. I have my own transcript, my own conversations that I had with Ali myself as well. So I can get his insights and his an avatar sheet that I filled out as well. So you can do this with your own things. I actually have a really good friend named Andy. He's actually a pharmacist, and I have my whole conversation transcripts and stuff with him. I can copy and paste a rough video from YouTube. So let's use this as an example, right? Putting in pharmacy, and I can chat. I can set up a chat and just be link these two things up. Pretend you are Andy Ho from my target avatar, and I've provided transcripts and an avatar who Andy Ho is. I've also provided this YouTube video that I was featured on. Pretend you are Andy. What is your general sentiment about this video? What are the interesting parts and most prolific parts for you? So then we can actually analyze this, and it'll pull out all the interesting parts for this target avatar. By the way, if you're ever I have way too much stuff, don't worry. Poppy will let you know when you're overloading it. I actually took a screenshot of this. So it says, hey, you have way too much content. Disconnects from the chat, shorten, and then try again, right? So yeah. And I think the interesting thing about this chat is honestly, this video made me realize I'm not alone in the struggle and there's a path forward. It also made me understand why I've been spinning my wheels for so long. So it gives you some really prolific insights on your target avatars and stuff. Don't worry, Poppy will let you know when it's too much. Poppy can actually handle up to 3 Harry Potter books, those fat books worth of context data. So it's quite a bit. And now I can chat with my audience or get a general sentiment of what people are thinking on the internet. Pretty cool stuff. Let's get in the next section, making content. By the way, this is still a work in progress, but I want to see if I can make content, especially YouTube videos, since those are the hardest to make. So something I learned from their onboarding call is that every chat should do a specific job. So for YouTube, we have different stages like YouTube packaging, so the ideas, the titles, the thumbnails, the actual writing of the scripts, and also retention of keeping my audience engaged and making sure that it's not too dry or boring. So I put in all my important stuff. For example, I showed you earlier on my YouTube board, I have different stages. So this is my idea generation expert, my title optimization expert from my friends April Lynn, outlier data from 1 of 10 finder and all that. I also have thumbnail best practices here too. So a thumbnail strategy expert, script writing expert, and then a storyline retention expert, and then an audience insight. So I can talk to my audience about this. In order to make this though, what I do is I put information about my target audience. So transcripts, all my target audience are real people. And so I plug that in. I also have I learned this from Vanessa Lau. She basically has an area with all her outlier videos that she really liked and copy and pasted into here. So I've done the same with my top performing videos that I actually personally liked. So there's these videos. Typically before I start, I'll take some outlier videos that just performed well. I'll look on 1 of 10 or Spotter Studio, any of those apps, and I'll post all the videos right over here and I'll start transcribing them. I also have like my brand guidelines of how I write and everything about me. AI kind of knows like how I talk. And then of course, I actually have the best practices for each one of these stages. And what I've done even further is actually start breaking up the different videos I do, like by format. So these are product review videos. In the future, I have like high ticket sales methodologies and stuff. So in the future, I'm going to create more of these as I flesh out more content formats that I really like that take off on YouTube. The goal for this, by the way, is just to be able to copy and paste and just like be like, I don't want to do this in my template file, but basically I can just hit the voice button and be like, hey, you see this idea generation prompt, please run the idea generation prompt with the outlier videos I provided or the inspiration videos I provided. You can now say like, hey, write me a hook in my brand voice using this formula. Write me a YouTube title that fits my brand that will resonate with my audience. What parts of the script might be boring as to my audience, right? And then it can help you kind of cut out all the boring stuff. And what I usually do is I usually go back and forth from my ChatGPT subscription just to kind of have everything in my brand voice. Brand voice is really big for me, but because ChatGPT has memories, it actually does a really, really good job of replicating how I sound a lot of the time as well. Let's get into the last use case, client work. Like I've done head of sales for like YouTubers like Ali Abdaal and other clients, right? And so a lot of times what this means is writing emails, writing sales copies, writing sales scripts. And my process is usually the same, but each client sells a different thing. In the past, I used to have like a Milanote, which had all my high ticket sales methodology. I'm in the middle of transferring this over to my Poppy right now, as you guys can see. So these are all my like different email sequences and automations that I typically do for my clients. They're all gonna look different. And then I actually have a templated file for Kaizen closing, and it has all my different templates and all the things that I need to set up for onboarding, my email sequences, the different offers that we kind of do and stuff. So with Poppy, what I'm trying to do is have my sales scripts, have my email sequences here, have all the sales copy, the brand guidelines that I have, and then put things about the client. Like, so maybe I'll copy and paste the sales page here or what they're selling or my transcription talking to a client about what they want and uploading previous sales calls so I can always reiterate and make things better over time. Now I can probably ask like, hey, write me a sales script using my framework for this product, use the sales calls and transcripts and previous sales calls as examples. So this really allows me to speed up my work a lot of times and stuff too. And just honestly run a lot leaner and just spend more time being the architect, which is what I'm supposed to be doing for high ticket sales anyways. If you like this video, then you probably like this video where I do a full breakdown on whether I think Poppy is actually worth it or not. We go through the Reddit comments and all that sort of stuff. So check that out. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. Peace.